Market really having a fantastic performance this week. It's up another 2% today, adding to the gains we've seen recently. Your thoughts on the strength of this rally?
Thank you very much, Wole. It's so nice talking to you in the new year. Basically, the rally has been, like you said, consistent over the week. We started on Monday, and naturally, I would have expected it to ease off a bit by midweek. But what we've seen is that is gone on, and it has closed today at 2%. That's the index. Basically, what we've seen is that it's just institutional investors trying to take position, like always, and we're seeing more of patronage also from the local investors.
All right, and let's talk a bit about that local investor interest. Yeah. Recently, we've seen quite huge volumes on the market. I do recall we've seen even 5 billion naira worth of trades recently. Your thoughts on why we're seeing that much interest in the locals right now? Many people will point to the fact that interest rates have come down a lot this year, and we'll be talking a bit about that later on the show. But are there any other factors in your view that is driving local investor interest?
Yes, the macros are looking very good. The markets are looking, based on, there's been, like you said, the interest rates are expected to come down this year, and that will mean that we expect a lot of good returns in the equities market. But having said that, the markets are looking good. Inflation is expected to come down, and obviously some of these companies have good fundamentals. The companies, especially the banks, the fundamentals are very good, and the balance sheet is quite clean. So, of course, initially there have been apathy, there have been fears, but towards the end of last year, instead of seeing the usual decline in volumes and all that, what we saw was sustained increase in volumes in terms of demand for some of this, for some of these stocks, especially the banking stocks, and they are now renewed confidence. So, investors are now becoming more confident, and they want to key into the market.
Okay, December inflation was down to 12%. There's a broad view that we're going to see single-digit inflation numbers next year. It's reflected in the yields we're seeing in the fixed income space. How far do you think this NSE rally can go this year? Obviously, 35% is not bad at all, considering what it did last year. Do you think it could beat 35% this year?
The market is still quite early. It's still early in the year. It's still early. I think one of the reasons why we've seen this rally is because of expectation of positive results, especially from the banks, right, and some good conglomerate stocks. But having said that, I believe that we could see something positive this year if we consider all the factors, the positive macroeconomic factors that are in favor of the markets. And one of such is that we expect that the NPI might possibly come down, and which we see renewed interest in the market. Basically, there's going to be more confidence in the market, and we expect that a lot of funds will flow to the equities market this year. But you also recall that last year, Nigeria emerged as the third best performing market in Africa, right, after Egypt and Kenya. Right. So there has always been renewed interest in Nigeria. There are a lot of opportunities. Firstly, in the power sector, you can see that there are a lot of reforms going on in that sector, and the generation companies and distribution companies are just about being licensed now. And once that is done, you see a lot of opportunities for the banks, to finance these projects. And that is just one part of that value chain. There's another big part when you look at the transmission part of it. So there's going to be a lot of financial opportunity for the banks. So I see a lot of value in those stocks, in the banking stocks. I see them going much further than our projections, because they're going to have a lot of avenues to invest their funds.
Okay, let's see how that plays out. But what are brokers saying about the MPC? Monday, usually have the announcement on Tuesday, but we're going to have it on Monday this time. You can follow that on CNBC Africa. But what is the expectation on the trading floor today about the likely direction of that MPC decision next week?
Yes, it has just. I mean, we've just seen the beginning of it, because we expect to see more more volumes in the coming weeks. The index today is 30,000 points, And I expect the index to get close to like 33,000 points next week. So it's the interest is just that people are now seeing, investors are now seeing the fact that the equity market has rebounded, and the opportunities in stocks, especially stocks that have fundamentals. So, and they're trying to just see how they can take advantage of these opportunities. Don't forget the fact that some investors are also trying to take out their profits, because what we saw towards the end of last year was that there was a lot of rallying in the market, and some people have actually made returns close to as much as 40%. So for such investors, they would rather take out their profit now and wait for the next round of rally, which I presume would come in a very short while.